Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Uncovering the Hidden Agendas, a video series dedicated to showing you all how Satan has put his hand of influence on just about every aspect of society. So as you can see from the picture, today's episode is going to be focusing on movies. How has Satan influenced the movie industry, the Hollywood industry? Let's start with this quote. "It's all over, and it has been for some time. The wisest of us know we have been beaten, and we accept that, not because we want to, but because the larger sheep-like masses have spoken and allowed this all to go on and evolve until finally it has reached an apex. What great bane upon the world do I speak of? The most classic struggle evident in all the world since the inception of humanity, the battle of good versus evil, of permeating light over all-encompassing darkness. I speak of the struggle for humanity to keep itself morally rooted while constantly being bombarded with images of extreme sex and violence and constant degradation. We are aware some may balk at the very concept of this article, but that only stands as a silent testimony proving that all of this is correct. If you read this in disbelief, take a glance toward Hollywood right now, and you tell me what trends stand out to you. Two, you say? Sex and violence. What a shock. Behaviors encouraged and engaged by Satanists and rejected as sin by all religions. Illuminati uses Hollywood to make you sinners, to control you, and to ultimately expend of you. Look to some of the past of the Hollywood elite, changing his or her own genitalia and appearance so even they do not have to face their own inner demons staring them in the face. That is but one example of many who have done or partaken in unforgivable satanic acts and walked away. The truth is, Hollywood is now openly run and kept running by the satanic elite who clearly have an agenda to push, and they now push it openly, as we as a society have just allowed the satanic steamroller to slowly run over us all, while even the fleetest of foot refuse to escape and just accept it like broken, fenced animals. And we're not going to go through this article. I just wanted to read that introduction. So let's dive into more articles to together learn how satanic the movie industry is. So we see quite a few logos here. Columbia, from the all-famous Columbia Pictures. But Columbia, if you do a simple Google search, Columbia deity. Especially in the 19th century, Columbia was visualized as a goddess-like female national personification of the United States and of liberty itself. So here we go again. Paganism. National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, abbreviated as NATAS, which is Satan backwards. Yikes. You see here in the middle we have a depiction of the Oscar award, which looks very similar to these gods, does it not? Osiris, Ausar, Ptah, and many others with this same pose. Alright, we saw Mickey Mouse in our previous episode. You see here he looks like a magician. Alright, that's no mistake, that's no accident, and that's no innocent thing either. A lot of people behind the scenes making these movies, making these shows, are legit self-proclaimed witches, practitioners of witchcraft and magic, and all these things that we should avoid. So let's look at a few quotes that talk about movies within the industry itself. Making movies is casting spells. Kenneth Anger. Wow. Magic wands were always made out of the wood of a holly tree. It's made out of holly wood. Hollywood is a druidic establishment, and the symbols, the words, the terms, the stories are designed. Wow. So Hollywood itself has a very satanic root. Like, we're not even talking about specific movies, just Hollywood, period. And we saw the Oscars earlier. Also have the Academy Awards here. The Oscar statue of the Academy Awards gets its name from Ausur or Osiris, the Egyptian god pictured on the right. You can see both figures are golden, have their arms crossed across the chest, and hold a scepter. So anybody who's getting an Oscar award, an Academy Award, is getting a trophy that looks like a god. Let's look at some specific examples of symbolism in movies. So we see various agendas. I'm just going to pull up a few movies here. Frozen, The Ant Bully, Star Wars, The Force Awakens, 101 Dalmatians, and The Phantom of the Opera. Let's look at each of these in turn and really examine the deeper motives of each movie. Frozen. Blogger Catherine Skaggs outlined the gay agenda to normalize homosexuality in Frozen. Elsa keeps her ice-wielding powers in the closet, which Skaggs believes is a metaphor for repressing her sexuality. The show-stopping song Let It Go is her big coming-out moment, with lyrics such as "That perfect girl is gone," glamorizing what Skaggs describes as anti-obedience. The Ant Bully from 2006 shows a square and compass, a Masonic symbol, all it's missing is the G in the middle, on the rocking chair as the grandmother gets up. There are said to be undertones in the movie that promote the New World Order and One World Government, such as the scene where Zoc and Lucas are lying on the mushroom and Zoc talks about having your place but working as one instead of everyone for themselves. So these are kids' movies, and they're pushing this New World agenda, New World Order. I don't get it, guys. Star Wars. In Star Wars The Force Awakens, the characters Han Solo, Finn, and Rey are all shown with weapons blocking their right eyes. And as we've seen throughout the series, the single eye symbol is associated with the occult elite. The Star Wars motion picture saga is replete with non-Christian worldview concepts, including elements of Gnosticism, Taoism, Hinduism, Buddhism, Eastern meditation, occultism, and moral relativism. Star Wars, for instance, posits a yin-yang balance of opposing powers which it calls the Force, a prominent thread in the films that has much in common with Taoism. Monistic pantheism is another element of the Star Wars movies that in this case borrows heavily from Hinduism. Moreover, aspects of the occult are prevalent in the Star Wars films and infuse various discussions and training involving the Force. Occult elements of Star Wars include telepathy, telekinesis, mind reading, and spiritism, to name a few. In addition, when it comes to its epistemology, Star Wars roots knowledge firmly in the realm of subjective feelings, urging viewers with pithy admonitions such as feel, don't think. Far from being Christian, the Star Wars worldview is on multiple levels diametrically opposed to Christianity. The films may be entertaining, which is their goal, isn't it? But the claims they make about faith, reality, knowledge, and morality do not correspond with truth. So while it may be entertaining, stimulating to watch, it's not in line with Christianity. And you see, that's the goal of the creators of this series, to influence what you think, how you feel, and what you believe. And from the movie series 101 Dalmatians, Cruella de Vil. I cannot believe this one slipped over my head. As we've said throughout the series, the best way to hide something is in plain sight. Cruella de Vil is the villain in the movie series 101 Dalmatians, based on the 1956 novel by Dodie Smith. The name Cruella de Vil is a pun of the words cruel and devil, an illusion that is emphasized by having her English country house nicknamed Hell Hall. Cruella smokes cigarettes throughout the movie and occasionally shows cleavage. So yeah, I watched this movie many times as a kid, and that went right over my head. In plain sight, missed it completely. And the fact that she's smoking cigarettes, showing cleavage, animal cruelty in a way, as you see from the movie. Yeah, not kid-friendly, to say the least. One more thing I want to point out, her hair. Looks a lot like the yin-yang symbol, doesn't it? Black and white, duality, right? Things we've been talking about all throughout the series. Very satanic at its core. Phantom of the Opera. The setting at the beginning of the Phantom of the Opera is the stage of the Paris Opera in 1905. The contents of the opera house are being auctioned off. The 662nd lot or item has just been sold, and the auctioneer goes on to take bids for a poster from an old production, a wooden pistol and 3 human skulls, and a papier-mâché musical box. And then he proceeds to say this. Lot 666 then, a chandelier in pieces. Some of you may recall the strange affair of the Phantom of the Opera, a mystery never fully explained. We are told, ladies and gentlemen, that this is the very chandelier which figures in the famous disaster. Our workshops have repaired it and wired parts of it for the new electric light. Perhaps we can frighten away the ghost of so many years ago with a little illumination, aka Illuminati, bringing light to darkness, another satanic core. And like not even 5 minutes into the movie, hearing the number 666, like that should be enough to make you not want to watch it, right? The lot identifies the portion in life assigned to the Phantom by fate, which is one to live in a world of darkness and rejection, assuredly associated with hell. As he drags Christine back down to his world in his last attempt to have her, he cries that he's taking her back to his dungeon, prison, and hell. So, to sum all that up, this movie takes place in hell. Like, there's no better way to put it. This movie is demonic at its core. So if you hear any kind of reference whatsoever to this number, please don't watch the movie. You should be able to figure out what kind of influences are coming into play. Sun worship is no different and no stranger to the movie industry. So check out these pictures here, just a few examples of sun symbolism in movies. The all-seeing eye and occult sun symbolism is rampant in today's music videos and Hollywood movies as well. The Lion King, let me get that picture back, portrays an offering to the sun at the very beginning of the movie. In the movie, the skulls, an initiate of a secret society, mimics the rituals of the real Yale Society called Skull and Bones, we've talked about them, by dying in the sun to reborn. In Eyes Wide Shut, Tom Cruise stumbles upon a secret ritual of a secret society. The red-robed figure in charge of the proceedings is wearing a gold mask. Tommy featured a solar messiah. In the horror flick The Ninth Gate, Johnny Depp plays an antique book dealer who is commissioned to find the book written by Lucifer that opens the ninth gate of hell. So as you can see, they're not just putting the sun and the number 666 and the all-seeing eye in these movies just because. There is a legit reason and intention behind it. So please be careful about the movies you watch. So now we're going to go through a list. We saw in the TV episode just how many shows depicted Satan in one form or another. Movies are no different. So let's just look through this list. Peter Stormare in Constantine from 2005. Lucifer Only Wants One Thing, Exorcist John Constantine's Immortal Soul. Lucifer heals John and cures him of cancer so that he will live long enough to earn his place in hell once again, proving the adage, the devil is patient. There's some mentions of TV shows as well, but we're just going to focus on movies today. Al Pacino in The Devil's Advocate from 1997. Al Pacino plays the devil as one John Milton, who is also the name of the English writer who penned the epic 1667 poem Paradise Lost about the fall of man. Pacino plays Satan as a slick-talking head of a successful New York City law firm, giving the devil a modern take. Blah, blah, blah. Tim Curry in Legend. Jack Nicholson in The Witches of Eastwick. Viggo Mortensen in The Prophecy from 1995. Very much in line with the modern portrayal of the devil as a swarthy man with dark hair and a beard. So just remember that image rather than a scaly red-skinned demon. So he's trying to hide his true identity, right? As is many the case in the movie industry. Gabriel Byrne, End of Days, 1999. The devil in End of Days puts the super in supernatural. While initially only an invisible character that looks like the heat shimmer on a desert highway, the devil possesses the body of a nameless banker, here we go again, played by Gabriel Byrne, and wears him like a suit. Even in human form, the devil has tremendous strength and the ability to start fires and explosions and control minds. Isn't that what this industry is trying to do overall? Dave Grohl, Tenacious D in The Pick of Destiny. Got the more classic look there. The devil gets to use gas as a sex slave for all eternity. Yikes. Max von Sydow in Needful Things. Gaunt, who is secretly the devil in disguise, sells rare items that the townsfolk need in exchange for payment and favors that usually turn out to be dirty pranks. Peter Fonda in Ghost Rider. Making bargains for souls. Yep. Common theme. Elizabeth Hurley in Bedazzled. So it's not just males, it's females as well. Scholar makes a pact with the devil in exchange for his soul. Here we go again. Robert De Niro in Angel Heart. One of the most terrifying portrayals of the devil in Angel Heart because of the understated menace inherent in nearly every look, gesture, and mannerism during his limited screen time in the film as Louis Cypher or Lucifer. See? They don't just try to hide his looks, what he looks like. They're also hiding his name. Making puns on his name. And here we go again. Black hair, beard, long fingernails minus the red skin. George Burns, Oh God, You Devil from 1984. Promises fame and fortune in exchange for a musician's soul. Over and over, we are seeing that. Tom Waits, The Imaginarium of Dr. Parnassus. Granting Dr. Parnassus immortality in exchange for the soul of his 16-year-old daughter, Valentina. David Warner, Time Bandits. The devil simply goes by the name evil and strives for nothing less than the overthrowing of creation itself. Walter Huston in The Devil and Daniel Webster. Another Faust-inspired tale. Walter Huston plays the devil as a soft-spoken, refined stranger. Again, breaking stereotypes. 7 years of prosperity in exchange for his soul. Joseph Mawley in Heartless. Long dark hair, dark beard. Paul Williams, Phantom of Paradise. A smash-up of genres and a mixture of classic stories like The Phantom of the Opera and Faust. And we've already seen the intentions of that movie. Jennifer Love Hewitt, Shortcut to Happiness. Another female playing the devil as a sexy stranger in red, offering Faustian deals. Great success in his field in exchange for his immortal soul. This time, Jabez's success alienates him from his friends, and he sours on the deal and begs the devil for his soul back. Once again, the devil is willing to gamble for Jabez's soul against famed orator Daniel Webster in court. And finally, Bill Cosby, the Devil, and Max Devlin. When slumlord Max Devlin is run over by a bus and killed, he descends into hell and finds it looks a lot more like an office building than a fiery pit of damnation. So we saw quite a few trends here. Like, yes, we have this look, red skin, horns, pitchfork, right? But not always, right? A lot more depictions of him with, trying to look for the picture again. Yeah, long hair, beard, right? So just watch for that. So just as we see depictions of Satan throughout the movie industry, we also see depictions of satanic rituals. These directors, these screenwriters, these creators of these shows and these movies are literally depicting their belief systems on screen and forcing them into our minds to lead us away from Christ. So let's see some examples of rituals. So in the ninth gate, something to the concept of opening portals to alternate dimensions. Eyes wide shut. That said, the flowing robes, naked women, we've talked about that. Masks and ritualistic solemnity of it all does bring to mind some practices of the Church of Satan. Rosemary's Baby. The film paints Satanists as elderly swingers with a spooky vibe, which kind of feels like the modern Church of Satan. And there is a rape scene. The Witch. All you need to do to come to Satan in The Witch is ask for his help and admit you want to live deliciously. Okay, moving on. The Craft. Wicca, magic, and satanic spooky stuff. Suspiria. The head witch performs a prayer not so different from one you might hear at a Catholic Mass. The coven sits in a circle as Madame Blanc eats a lone wafer and drinks an unseen liquid before asking for power. This is in line with Anton LaVey's intent to pervert Christian ideology into something a little more sinister. Haxan, which is doing the devil's bidding by moonlight. The Wicker Man, pagan ceremonies of life, death, and the cosmology of the universe that inform Judeo-Christian beliefs. The House of the Devil. When it came time to put a devil baby inside the young Scream Queen, demonic possession, hello. Starry Eyes. When struggling actress Sarah finally agrees to sign her name in the devil's book and sexually submit to the producer as one does, the film slowly transforms from a sparse, Lynchian piece built on unease to a straightforward horror film. Baskin, a satanic ritual that takes up the last 25 minutes of this film. Again, opening a portal to hell, a woman with a goat head, a rock that looks like a fetus being birthed, a fair amount of throat-slitting, maniacal laughter, people covered in blood, and a slew of dark psychedelic imagery. Hellraiser. Hellraiser presents the notion that each of you creates your own personal hell where you suffer alone until you don't. Children of the Corn. Tying a boy to a corn husk crucifix so he can be devoured by a red static-looking apparition of some kind of thing. Kill List. Strange world pitched somewhere between Wicker Man and Rosemary's Baby, a dark and brutal mind space in which the nature of reality becomes increasingly less clear, and where your partner's new girlfriend etches weird occult symbols in commonplace objects and might be in some kind of ancient anti-Christian death cult. At the Devil's Door. plays with time and audience perception and assumptions, also has a satanic ritual that calls to mind American folklore of blues musician Robert Johnson, who went down the crossroads to sell his soul to the devil in exchange for his guitar skills. In the film, a young woman goes to the crossroads after a bit of spooky magic and says her name aloud so the devil will know her when he calls for her. And finally, the touch of Satan. A young witch is able to give her soul to Satan to save her sister, who's burning on the stake, by calling out the devil. So that's just a few of many examples of rituals, depictions of Satan, occult rituals, magic, literally being depicted in movies. These creators, these filmmakers are Satanists. And the actors in these movies probably have a similar title. So be careful what you watch, because you literally might be witnessing a satanic ritual and not even know it. And that's their intention. They don't care. They'll do it anyway. So if you don't believe me about these actors and filmmakers being Satanists, if you need proof, let me show you this clip as we wrap up this episode. Christian Bale was giving his acceptance speech for winning Best Actor at the 2019 Golden Globes, and here's an excerpt from his speech.
Thank you to that geezer over there, Adam. He said, I've got to find somebody who can be absolutely charisma-free and reviled by everybody. So he went, that's got to be Bale in it, Thank you, and for all the competition, I will be cornering the market on charisma-free. So, what do you think? Mitch McConnell next? That could be good, couldn't it? Thank you to Satan for giving me inspiration on how to play this role.
Pause. Thank you, Satan. You guys heard it live. I'm not making this up. So there's your proof. I'm sure this is one of many Satanists influencing our film industry. So first, there's the fact that he literally thanked Satan in this speech. But look at what happened after this speech was made. The Church of Satan went on Twitter and said, "To us, Satan is a symbol of pride, liberty, and individualism, and it serves as an external metaphorical projection of our highest personal potential. As Mr. Bale's own talent and skill won him the award, this is fitting. Hail Christian, hail Satan. Freemasonry is a secret organization. Skull and Bones is a secret organization. The Church of Satan is a secret organization, and so many others influencing our world without us even knowing." If this was public information, I'm sure there would be more of an uproar about it. But I hope through avenues like this video series that people really start to see what's going on behind the scenes. So I hope that gives you all a basic idea of, as our first article mentioned, how Hollywood and the movie industry are literally run by a satanic, occult, elite group of individuals. You see how easy it is to implement these belief systems, these rituals, these symbols, and these non-Christian tenets into these movies. It's so easy, and the average eye will not catch them, but it's going to be ingrained. So be careful what you watch, because a lot of these movies do not have good intent, do not have Christian intent. So with that being said, I'll wrap it up for this episode. Still thinking about whether I want to do a part 2 or not, but tune in to the next episode regardless, and tell a friend about it as well. I hope this material is helping you as much as it has helped me. Be vigilant, my friends.